And sound the alarm, because who better to make and break bread with than the one and only Wolfgang Puck, joining us for the next 2 hours, final day of his visit. And you're about to see something you have not seen the entire visit. One of the best sellers.
I know, a long time. And you know, there's nothing better than the smell of fresh bread. Oh. I remember my wife, Galila, when she grew up in Addis Ababa, she always said, in the morning, I love the smell of fresh bread. So now what I have to do at home, I have to put my bread maker on, and when she gets up at 7:30 in the morning or at 7 in the morning, the whole house smells like bread. But
wake up
I got the bread maker for a different reason too, because my son, he does not support too much of the gluten.
Right.
So once in a while I make him a pasta. But bread, the sandwich for school, I always make him with gluten-free bread. I feel better with gluten-free bread. So I make bread now in my bread maker, and it comes out perfect. Now let me show you how easy it is. Now you can do that the night before, you can do that anytime. Here it is. Here's our bread maker, okay? Now, we always add the liquid first. Water, and obviously you need your paddle in there. Then you add the yeast. I know you're all scared about yeast, kneading and everything. That's why we have the machine. It kneads it, it proofs it, it does everything. You just have to put in everything. All right, and here I have a few egg yolks. It makes it richer. Did you ever taste the gluten-free bread at the store? It's terrible.
I know.
It's dry.
It's mealy.
Nobody likes it. Okay, now here we have the flour. I added a little salt and a stick of butter. It makes it richer tasting. So we add all that stuff now to it. Now this is rice, a rice flour mixture. So you will see this is more, it looks more like a batter when it's finished because it's gluten-free. It doesn't have the gluten to really make it elastic or anything. All right. Now, look at it. I have to put on my glasses. I'm not as young as I look, probably. Okay, we put the menu. So we're gonna put that on number 6 because it says gluten-free here. Look at that. See that? 4, 5, 6. Okay, the color, I like it dark, so you have light, medium, dark. Dark. And then we're gonna have the next thing, the loaf side here. Can you see that? Okay, it's a large one. Okay, you see that? 1.5 and 2 pounds. Okay. And now all we have to do is put start, push the button, and it starts to work.
I already hear it. I mean, this is amazing. You make bread, fresh bread, gluten-free bread, any kind of bread you want, in a matter of minutes in one machine.
One machine. So now you put that in here. You can go wherever you want to go. This will knead the dough. This will proof the dough, and this will bake it. So it's all one. You don't have to heat up your oven. You don't have to heat up your kitchen. Everything stays in here right away.
You don't have flour all over the place. None of that. It's $99.95 for flex payments.
You know, this one is very hot, and that's because I put it on dark. If you like light bread, put it on light bread, is fine.
Wait till you see.
On light color, it's very hot. All right.
Look at that. How perfect is that? Like fresh from a bakery.
I know. Now smell that.
Oh my, I can smell it from here.
It would never think this is, you would never think this is gluten-free bread. And look at it. Look at the inside.
Look at the texture of that.
Look at the texture. Now you can add whatever you like. You can add spices to it, like a little rosemary. If you want to make Italian-style bread, you can add a little thyme, some chilies, whatever you like. But the most important thing, and we actually have that in every restaurant now, we serve gluten-free bread because the demand is so high. There are more and more people out there who feel better when they don't eat gluten, and there's many people who have celiac disease. They found out they can digest gluten. So look at that beautiful bread. So now you can make a perfect sandwich just like with any regular bread.
Right, but you're getting to control the ingredients.
Yeah.
Everything happens right here. This is crazy cool because everything happens right here. You don't have to get that flour out. You don't have to knead it. You don't have to wait for it to rise. None of it. It goes in here. You push a button. You're finished. I love that you can decide if I want it to be a small loaf, a medium.
A small loaf, yeah.
I love you can control if I want it light or dark.
The color, the way you like your bread. I like when I use flour, I like it cooked well done. If I make croissants, whatever I would do, I always keep it really darker because it has better flavor. That's just the way it goes. Now here, if we want to put a little marmalade on it, or like for Oliver, I make it with cheese and I make it a sandwich. Often I turn on my panini grill and then I make a panini with it. So it comes out always just great.
How perfect is this?
Yeah.
You're going to be able to do this every single morning. You can do this anytime.
Okay.
And the beauty of it is it's so simple.
Yeah.
But at $99.95, this is the time you even think about giving gift ideas, right?
Exactly. But even for you at home, you want to really have the perfect bread. Now here I have 100% whole wheat flour. You know, whole wheat flour is really very good for you. Why? Because it's better for your digestion than white bread, you know. And look at that. See that?
You know what? Can you buy bread at a bakery?
You smell that?
Look at that texture.
You feel like it's 100 years ago. You know, when you had every town corner had a baker, when everybody made bread. So now you can do it at home without any problems because you have the right bread. So you want to make a sandwich with that or you want to toast that, it is just delicious.
And the bread is so
And you look at that. It's not like in the old time they made a brick. Now it's just perfect.
Beautiful bread, and it tastes like bread because they're not adding all the preservatives. You know what? Just read what's in a loaf of bread these days. You don't even know what the ingredients are.
Exactly. When you look at the loaf in the bread in the paper bag, you look at the loaf and you say, I thought bread is a simple thing. It is a simple thing. It's generally something to make it rise. If you make a quick bread, you know, a little yeast, some flour, water, a little salt or a little honey, whatever it is, and that's enough. 4 ingredients.
You do not even need to put anything on this bread.
I know.
It is so tasty. It's absolutely incredible.
Perfectly cooked. Look at that. All the way through. I mean, who needs to go to the supermarket to have bread? And on top of it, it is so much cheaper.
You know, the thing that worries me is I buy bread sometimes at the supermarket, and it sits there for a couple of weeks. And doesn't mold or anything, and it worries me. It's like, what's in there?
What is in there?
In there?
I know.
What preservatives are in there? Don't do that when you can do this in a matter of seconds. Seconds. You
now let's come over here and look. See, here is my dough.
This is fun.
Now you look. Normally, if I would make a dough, maybe we get another dough in here to see. You see how it's like a cake batter almost because of the rice flour. So it makes it totally a batter like that. So that's what it is. But it will rise it because we have the yeast.
But you know, in the past, what did you have to do, Marion? Marion gets joining us, of course. We had to mix it all up. Had to knead it and knead it. A lot of us don't even have the muscles to knead that bread.
I know. My grandmother used to knead it, and then she used to have us knead it and everything. Oh, it was like a lot of work.
We're too busy, too, for that.
Yeah, and nobody has the time. And then, you know, many people, even if you do it right, what you do, then you don't know how to proof it. Then you don't know how long it has to bake it. So you have all these questions out there which you're not sure. So you're going to make bread and say, I don't know if it's going to come out. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Now with this machine, it does everything for you. That's what is amazing.
Okay, now which one is this?
Look at it. Here we have the perfect deli bread here. You want to have a pastrami sandwich here, you know? Look at that.
I think my producer.
Smell it.
I think my producer is going to crash the studio.
Yeah.
Oh my
know.
gosh, you've got to smell this. I wish you were in the studio to smell this, because you know, that's what it's about. It's about that bread baking, but we don't want to take the time. Who's got the time to bake bread every day? You do now. Just add the ingredients and let the bread maker do everything. We're going to give you everything you need, and not only that, we're going to give you some great recipes.
All right, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make regular bread. So we need a little yeast. Do we have some yeast somewhere?
It's right in there. See in the little packet on top?
Oh, in the little packet in here. Okay, good. I didn't see it, see?
Sure.
All right.
Machine
So
to
we
taste
got another
pizza dough.
machine, so I'm going to show you how to make regular bread.
So here's the paddle.
Okay, put the paddle in. Good.
It only goes one way. There we go.
Okay.
Now I've got to give you some power.
Give me some power, some yeast, and I have a little butter here. Okay, I'm going to melt the yeast right in here.
You are ready.
With the water. If you want, you can add a little honey to it to feed the yeast.
Your mix has powdered honey in it.
Okay.
Your pizza dough
all right,
does.
but at home, maybe people don't have it.
Okay.
And if you want to order the pizza dough mix, we have that available on hsn.com, so definitely ask about that. Make it simple.
Okay, now look at that. I have butter here.
Okay.
I want to make the bread rich, so I'm going to add a chunk of butter. So again, the first thing we're going to add the liquid. We said that already.
Right. So
don't forget to put a paddle in it. And then we're going to add some butter. And then you can get my bread mixture. This is pizza dough, but pizza dough is just like bread. You add that all in here. Yeah. And so you can just make dough without baking it, obviously. So you see here, I'm going to show you in a second, is dough. So we have everything in here with our mixture. You don't have to worry about seasonings, nothing. All right. Now, let me just look at that with my glasses on.
I love the size of it, too.
Yeah.
It's very small and compact.
Now, look at that. So here is the menu. Okay, we go until it says dough. See number 8, dough here, all right? Then we don't need color. We don't make a loaf, nothing. So all we have to do is start.
What I love about dough
Yeah.
is it'll mix it, let it rise, mix it one more time, and then just let it hang out until you're ready to use it. It won't bake it.
Yeah.
So it can rise for quite a while if you're not ready to make your
So
pizza
this
or
is a
whatever it
machine who knows everything. So from baking the
all.
bread to rising it to making the dough, or just simple make dough for your pizzas. You make simple dough for your, what do you call the bread? I forgot now, when you put the 3 things together.
The challah?
nut,
No,
the
oh,
challah,
braid,
yeah, to,
braid
make
it.
it, to braid it, yeah. So you can make all that, but it's not only that, not just for bread. You can make your brownie, you can make your pound cakes, so many different things. You can cook your meatloaf in there, you can make your jam in there.
And you can see in there, and you're going to be fascinated by how this thing works. Everything done right in here.
Yeah.
From you're seeing it right there. Everything all in one non-stick
Now look at that. No,
place.
this is not burnt or anything. This is chocolate here. You can see, look at that. Perfectly cooked.
And look at the finish on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so perfect.
And now you can slice it, just have it like that. And look how beautiful and soft this is and how tender that is. See that? Look at that.
Now that's what you call breaking bread
yeah.
or cake. Oh my.
So now, if you want to make a birthday cake fast, you have the pound cake ready. You have one kid that comes over and it's a birthday. What you do is cut 3 slices of that. And you make a famous Austrian cake. It's called the Sachertorte. It's very, very, very well known in Austria. So what we do is we normally bake a cake, but we don't have to. We put apricot jam. Then we put another one on top. All right. A little more apricot jam. Apricot and chocolate go very well together. All right. And then you finish it with the last one. All right. So if you want, you can put a little bit more of this glaze on here, just in. All right. And then we put that on a plate.
This is so moist.
Yeah, I know, it is amazing. So if you want, you can even make 2 out of it. Now look how moist and warm still inside. So now, if you want, cut off a little bit here, so to make it really nice and even. So now, I have a little chocolate sauce or chocolate syrup, whatever you have. Put that a little bit on it.
How beautiful it is. It's like being in a bakery.
I know, so but it's so easy. I didn't do nothing. It's the pound cake.
So much easier,
and then,
so much less expensive.
I know. Then you can finish it with a little whipped cream.
Which we have that available as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Look at that. And all you need is a candle, and then you put a few berries on top.
Oh, beautiful.
And here you have it, a little birthday cake for the kids. A little powdered sugar around.
You know what?
Look at that.
It's a cover of a magazine in your home.
I know.
In a
And
matter
so
of minutes.
simple, so easy to make, but it's not expensive. It is easy to do. And you know, there's nothing better than homemade stuff, you know?
Nothing better. You control the ingredients.
Yeah.
But whether you're doing gluten-free bread, I mean, stop and think about what you're paying in the stores for something that tastes terrible. Now control the ingredients. You don't want those preservatives. You don't need it. But you know what? Who's got time to sit there and bake bread all day? This does. And that's what you do. Add the ingredients, push a button, it is done for you. You get it home for less than $25. I'm going to tell you, you will be addicted. The smell
I know, just to
in
the
your
smell
house,
of it.
Your neighbors will come from down the street because they want that fresh baked bread.
I know, there's nothing better than the smell
wow.
of fresh baked bread. And look at that. So here we have our dough here.
Okay.
Look at that. See, this is gluten-free, and it changes totally. Look, see that? It looks like a cake batter. But
So smooth.
it takes some time to rise it, and then it will bake it in here. So
Most
easy.
bread makers don't have the gluten-free setting, but because it's that unique batter, it only needs to rise once and then bake. And Wolfgang, you're one of the only ones that has it, so it's amazing. that
Now
you do.
look at it. You can see how different the dough with the gluten is in here. See that?
It just changes the consistency,
Yeah,
right?
it is totally elastic, and you want the elasticity.
So you can decide what you want to do with it, how you want to do it, but for $99.95 only for this weekend are we doing this with a limited quantity. You do not want to miss out on this. What a gift for your family, for yourself, and truly, if you want to get this now, put it away for the holidays. I don't know how you could possibly not use it immediately, but if you wanted to, you have until the end of January if for any reason you need to return it. But I'm going to tell you guys, please use express ordering. First time we have offered it this entire weekend.
Now we had whole wheat bread. We have now whole grain bread here, you know, which is really delicious. I love the flavor and the consistency of it. And again, you actually can hear it.
Yeah.
See how nice and crispy it is on the outside? And look at the inside. You can see all the grains and see how tender it is. In the old time, the first machines who came out were terrible. They never really made it rise enough. It was always very heavy. Now you have the same bread you would get in any good bakery, but you can make it at home. No preservatives added. No, nothing, just simple recipes. That's the way bread used to be done in the old time. I remember I was working with a baker with Paulin in Paris, and you know the bread was even only just water, salt, and flour. But he had the trompe, they call it. You know, he always left some leftover bread, and because of the microbes, it started to raise by itself, you know. Paulin, yeah.
Wow. And understand, guys, we would love to take your phone calls. If you already own the Breadmaker, if you're in the ordering process right now, ask to speak with Chef, because this is about the only place in the world where you really get to ask questions, talk about what maybe you're going to be doing in your Breadmaker, and share your memories. I mean, my grandmother lived across the street from the Wholesome Bakery in Miami. You walked outside, you smelled that bread, and it was absolutely the most incredible smell. I mean, to this day.
Look at that. In the morning, still one of my favorite things is whole grain bread toasted with marmalade. You know, it's so interesting because I grew up with it. Now I can afford anything for breakfast. But a good cappuccino and a slice of bread like that, I put it in my oven, in my pressure oven, and toast it. And that's still my favorite, a little butter and marmalade. And you know, my son Oliver really loves it too, except what do we use? Gluten-free bread.
Absolutely.
You added to this one, because this came about because our customers are so smart and you asked for more. You loved maybe cinnamon raisin bread where the whole raisins were in there, or the whole nuts. So what Wolfgang did was add this little dispenser at the top that sits right on top. And so whatever you put in here, maybe it's cheese, I'm gonna do pecans, but what's so cool is you put your bread on the cycle that you want, and it's gonna automatically dispense whatever you put in here at the precise time, because if you didn't do that, if you added it at the beginning, the pieces get really small.
Yeah,
sometimes
and
you want big
mashes
pieces.
it because
So
it
isn't that
needs it for a
brilliant?
long time. Yeah,
so
the
smart.
same thing like you make olive bread, you wouldn't see pieces of olives in it. You will just get gray bread, which still tastes good, but we want to see the specks of the olives in there. So with the hover there, it adds it when it's just the right time.
I mean, the sophistication of what you're getting here is absolutely incredible. You know, I don't have to tell you guys what a loaf of the olive bread costs now, what a loaf of gluten-free bread costs, and you have all those ingredients.
And look at that. Look at the
know.
cake here.
Oh, look at that beautiful cake.
You get the close
You
up
can
here?
bake cakes,
Look
so
at
you
that.
can do brownies in there.
Brownies are right here, yeah.
Huh?
Wow.
Brownies are right here.
That looks as good as the Sachertorte in Vienna at the Hotel Sacher. Look at that. And all it is, apricot jam, chocolate sauce, and a little whipped cream. And we made the pound cake in here. So you can make pound cakes in advance. Put it in the freezer. So if you're in a hurry, you don't know what to give your friends when they come over for coffee or tea or a dessert, you do that.
But you can put your pecans in yours. You can do all those extras right in here, and they're gonna turn out perfectly every time, whether you wanna do a savory bread, if you wanna do something sweet. But wow, that does look amazing. But what's so impressive, I think, is the way that you get the crust on the outside. I want you just to see. Look how crispy and crunchy that is on the outside, and then the softness of the bread on the inside, incredible, but perfectly this is going to cook. Simple, easy, you add the ingredients, it does the rest, you don't have to knead it, wait for it to rise, none of it.
Now look at that, now you really, your mouth is watering already, but who doesn't love brownies? And these are pecan brownies.
And you know, I mean, just to get them out without just
I know,
messing
so
them up.
this is totally non-stick, and then you can cut them into slices. See that?
See how the nuts...
Oh my God, Maida Hida would be proud if she would say that. Hi Maida, how are you?
Oh,
but
wow.
isn't it exciting that you have an appliance that'll do the work for you? Because so many people ask, oh, how did you do that? And then when they hear the recipe, they say, oh, I could never do that. That's for Wolfgang. But you have something where if you can just read the ingredients, dump them in the pan, and press the buttons, this is what you're going to get
Look at that.
And by the way, you're going to get everything you need. And
do we get a close-up of this one?
Yeah, look at, I mean,
close?
They're right there. Look at those pecans. But do you see the moistness of this?
Yeah.
I mean, those brownies are perfectly cooked.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give you some great recipes all included with this. So as soon as you get it home, you're gonna be able to do all kinds of great things. Just look towards the back and you're gonna see everything from chocolate, pound cake, banana bread, you name it, it is in here. So great recipes included, right down to Wolf's Pizza Dough is in here as well.
The holidays are coming up. How about if you make your own brownies and then you wrap them with a nice paper and give it to people as a present? It costs very little, but they're all gonna say, oh my God, how did you make that? I want more of it.
And you know, we didn't even talk about the Breadmaker has a jam setting. Isn't that crazy? Jams are usually 4 ingredients, the fruit, the sugar, lemon, and pectin. Pectin you get in the gelatin section at the grocery store. It makes the jam get thick if it doesn't have enough natural pectin. But here's the cool thing. You dump those 4 ingredients in, you press the jam button, and an hour and 20 minutes, find some pretty little jars, and you've got jam that you can give, and people will be blown away that are gonna say, oh my gosh, you give the best gifts, but they don't need to know that all you did was dumping ingredients in
Yeah.
and press the button on Wolfgang's Breadmaker.
Because it's that easy and it's that
Yeah.
quick to clean. You clean one pan, that's it, and it's a
Single.
non-stick pan, so simple and easy.
do you want
So
cheesy
you're
bread?
making jam now, you're making your gluten-free bread, you're making your challah bread, you're making your whole wheat bread, you're making brownies, you're making dessert, you're making
And
everything
you know what
in
is
here.
great? If you are for the holiday or no holiday, you can bake it in advance. You can put it in the freezer, in the refrigerator, wherever you like, and then take it out, let it come to room temperature, warm it up or toast it, and you're done. But again, nothing is better than waking up and smelling the fresh bread in the morning with a little cinnamon in it, raisins. Now here, Marianne made us some cheese bread.
That's my
So
favorite.
the cheese went
yeah.
in the hopper.
Yeah.
This. Oh my gosh, you know what you have to go to, you can't even go to a bakery and
Yeah.
get this. I mean, these are restaurant style now breads that
And
you're
the
getting.
smell, it is so amazing.
And do you see how the cheese is melty, but the
Yeah.
exterior just perfectly crunchy and crispy?
And this is the dark setting on all
Yeah.
the loaves that you see here because Wolfgang loves dark bread. He says brown foods taste good. He's right. But
Yeah.
of course, he gives you choices. If you like a lighter crust, you
Yeah,
select that button and it's
some
for you.
people don't like it dark, but I really love the bread when it has that color. To me, it looks more appetizing, but mostly it tastes so much better.
But look at the texture of the bread that you're getting.
Yeah.
I don't care if you need that all day by hand. You know, you are not going to get that kind of
Exactly.
texture
Look
that you're
at
seeing.
that. See that?
That is perfect.
Look at that.
Oh, my
Totally
goodness.
soft and tender bread. So normally the old bread makers made bricks. This one makes the best bread, like the best boulangerie or the best bakery anywhere.
Unbelievable.
Look at that. It rips apart so easily. Oh. And the smell of it. You know, here you can smell the cheddar cheese. My favorite, though, I must say, is the chocolate pound cake and the brownie.
And you know, I
chocolate-
was having
okay.
a really hard time
Mine's the
selling my
cheese.
house.
Yeah.
Thank God for the bread maker. It was kind of an ugly house. We were poor. We were moving over here.
Yeah.
But I think we turned on the bread maker and made that loaf. And I think just that smell, it smells like someone loves you
Wow.
whenever there's bread baking.
I know.
House sold in one day.
Yeah.
It's because it's so warming. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what it's welcoming. It's inviting. Everything you want is right here.
Okay.
It is one
Now
purchase price of $99.95.
Okay, let's look in the machine here.
Okay.
See that? The beautiful dough ball we have in here.
So that
Can
has
we get
gluten.
closer in there? A little closer.
Really get in there.
Yeah,
You
see,
can see
and that's gonna make a whole loaf of bread here, just like ours here, because it's gonna rise a lot if you leave it out, or if not, you just take it out once it's proof for your pizza dough.
Can you imagine baking fresh bread every single day? Or
Yeah.
fresh brownies or whatever, or gluten-free. Everything is now at the touch of a button. $25 on your credit card
I know.
today. You
It
get
is
this
an
home, you try it.
amazing thing, an amazing machine. And rest assured, for all of you out there, if you have children who are hyperactive, you know, who have ADHD or anything like that, it's often the sugar and the bread they eat which makes them even crazier. So if I started to give my son just gluten-free bread and everything, and you know what? It shows right away.
I'm telling you, it's so good. It is so good. It is so easy. But the affordability today,
Yeah.
$99.95 for a bread maker of this kind of sophistication that you can even make jam in.
Yeah.
And it's one button that you're going to push. You get to choose the light, the medium, the dark. You choose if you want it small, medium, or large. Everything. So simple. You're going to love it. Recipes included right here.
And you know, the best thing is this makes everything. It kneads the dough,
so
it
good.
proofs the dough, and it bakes it. So you don't have to worry how long you're gonna let
Right.
it sit outside so it rises. You don't have to worry if the bread gonna be cooked. The machine is programmed perfectly, so all you have to do is put in a big loaf, smaller loaf, a dark or lighter color, and what kind of bread you're making. I mean, anybody can do that. You don't even have to go to first grade. You know, a kindergarten kid can make bread in here.
It's going to be that much fun, that simple, and you control everything from the gluten aspect to the ingredients, all fresh baked. Oh my gosh, you've got to get